building is called Varenka. It's part of Byrdcliffe Colony, art colony. It was founded in 1902, and this originally was a store for selling furniture. Furniture was made right across the street in a wood shop that burnt down, and they asked me to come in here and basically renovate this building to rent out for a home. And when I got in here, it was kind of two extremes. It had a lot of really serious rotten wood problems, but it also had a lot of original stuff, you know, original door, original windows. So, you know, it was crying to be restored because it's historic, it's part of the community, it's on the National Historic Registrar. The entire colony is, not just this building. So I was kind of insistent that you have to restore this. The rotten wood had to be got out, and it was tough. These windows were extremely out of square. None of them were operable. They were all painted shut, and they had, you know, the glazing was coming apart, so they all had to be taken out and fully restored. Every glass taken completely out, stripped down, reglazed, repainted. Each frame to each window was all out of square. This bottom was like all up and down where it had sags from the rotten wood. And so it was basically, we pulled it all apart. But I had to take all the framework off the windows inside and out, label it all. I stored it in the attic. And then once everything was fixed structurally, under the floor, we ripped out a bunch of floor. I had a 2-foot wide piece down the entire center of the room with the floor gone, and a 2-foot wide piece all the way down that end out, so we could slide in. We had to take out siding in that side and slide joist in. Had to install a girder.
When did you start the work?
Geez, I was thinking the other day, I don't know.
Before the pandemic?
No, it was not, because I did another job over here, also a Byrdcliffe job prior to this one. And I remember the pandemic started when I was on that one. So I've been here, I don't know, 5 months, maybe? No, it was like fall when I came in. New wood mixed in with old wood. I wanted all the old wood, so I had to, I did a lot of experiment inside on this. This is a new board. And it is the only new board on these. This is called casing. So of all the casing boards, this is the only new one. But I couldn't save them all. Some of them broke. Some of them broke and I glued them back together. But these boards were all painted white, and I took them off, labeled them all, and then put them back inside out. So this was the insides. That's why you see lines in some places where it was against the stud.
Right.
Because that was, and same with that wall, that was also painted white. Which, you come into a building like this and paint it, somebody, that should be a capital offense. I don't know how you could come in here and paint. But we just couldn't warrant the expense of stripping it all. And I couldn't salvage enough wood, I lost a lot of wood. What I did was I replaced a lot of wood in the bedroom so that I could steel boards to have enough to finish in here. I want at least these two walls. This is prominent because of the windows. This is prominent because of the door. And this had a cheesy window here. It was not original to the building. And it was actually quite smaller than this too. It was smaller height-wise and width-wise. So I wanted to have a window that matched that. So these lights are the same size as those, and the detail matches those. So this was made from scratch. This door was made from scratch to model that door. And a lot of it's old wood, but some of it's new wood. This is new wood. The door is all old wood. So it's an old door.
Wood from somewhere else though, right?
From this building, there's a lot of old wood in the barn. I scrounged the whole property. Anywhere I found an old board, I had a lot of boards in here. But anywhere, I pretty much rummaged through. This wood here, I wanted it to be the same species as that wood. So I had a really tough time finding enough of this. Because I also had to replace some of these. These are called muntins. I had to replace some of these because some of those were rotted completely out. So that's what inspired me to make that, because as I was making replacements for this, and I was like, you know what, that window is so ugly. I have to, make something that looks like it belongs. So that's what happened there. And this is all. These boards are all old, and they came off of this building. They had a really the bathroom in the back. The bathroom was original, but the 4 walls were original, but somebody took off the siding, made a modern bathroom, put the siding back on, and it was like really crooked, and they would have an old board and a brand new board, and an old board. It was really, and they were crooked, and so I had to pull it all off and replace it. So I replaced it with all new wood that I made look old, and then all the old boards from the siding, I milled down and used it for different things. I used them here, I used them on these panels. This came from the siding, from this building, and these boards. These boards also were the siding from the back. Pretty much try to use anything old first, before I go buy any wood.
Reporting for the Daily Freeman, this is Tanya Byrdcliffe.